It is Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. We have gotten a hotfix patch. I believe that's in here somewhere. So the hotfix thread is here. And the last we heard anything on this really was May 14th, where they were talking about that they wanted to get a hotfix out. Fixes in testing included multiple client and server crash fixes. On the server side, some vehicles not despawning after being stored. If the player calls landing services in the hangar, when another vehicle's on the pad, the other vehicle will be stored. Abandoned vehicles are persisting at TSG locations after the location's been streamed out. Fixed landing areas, checking obstruction bounds instead of full bounds when deciding to store a vehicle. Ships without ballistic guns are unable to restock missiles and countermeasures through landing services inside other ships. Ships without ballistic guns are unable to restock missiles and countermeasures through landing services inside another ship that provides landing services despite having the resources on the cargo grid. We got some client and server side fixes. Ships colliding with each other during auto-docking. Servers preventing players from moving at all after loading. Ships switching to SCM master modes when changing servers. Contested zone airlock. Access not cycling, and mission QT targets moving away rapidly through space. Plenty of issues that do not encapsulate the ones that have been the worst, in my opinion, over the last few days. We did get a hotfix a couple of days ago, and you can load into the hotfix right here. You can see live or hotfix. They haven't merged the two. But they also, if you don't remember, we're planning on doing another update. This was not just another update like in terms of the hotfix, but this was meant to be an actual patch coming out on Tuesday. Here is the last we heard about the Freefly and what their plans were behind it.
Which is also why it's something else. Let's just do a couple things. Let's get it out of the way. The Freefly. You may have seen some notifications about the Freefly that was supposed to start today. We are not going to start the Freefly today for no other reason than it would be wildly irresponsible of us to do it. Sure, we'd love the influx of people. Sure, we'd love the influx of, it can only help the bottom line, but it's a terrible experience for our existing, Star Citizen player base. So we are not going to start the Freefly until the mission system cools down and we feel better about the experience for the existing players. And yeah, there's probably a more elegant way of saying that, but I figure I'd just lay it out straight. We're just not going to do it until we feel like it's a good experience for everybody here.
So, what came of that? Well, the Freefly went back active on, I think, Monday. We have it here. And it sounds like, I'm seeing in the chat that the cargo elevators are completely broken. That was one of the patches that was plaguing us earlier in the week. But there are plenty of issues with missions, generally kind of the same normal issues you would get. But there are problems with a lot of different gameplay and areas, locations, and generally on the forums, we've had radio silence. The last bit of info I can find that is like a direct response to this kind of stuff is from Bearded. That was 5 days ago, and he was responding to somebody who was just asking about the mission contracts and kind of what's going on with them. He said, there's an issue on our end. We're investigating both short and long-term fixes, but for the time being, there's going to be rough periods of time where things are wonky. This tells me this is not good. If they need long-term fixes for this, then it sounds like this isn't necessarily something that just kind of whoopsied into 4.8. It seems like there's a backend issue going on because they're working on the contract manager v2. And this would have been a great time to say, well, the new contract manager is coming. It should handle a lot of the issues that we're seeing with this, but I don't think that's what's going on here. I think they've got some database problems. Seems to be where a lot of the problems are coming from, but that's just my thoughts. I don't actually know. This isn't official news. I'm not trying to tell you guys to go tell everyone else this is what's actually happening. I'm just reading it myself. I just happen to be on camera doing it. But there hasn't really been much news since then. There is a hotfix cooking for today I'm reading in chat. Might want to refresh the page. This page? I just opened this page. So let's see, 520. It did add something in. Look at that. Okay, so a new hotfix. Goal is to send this to hotfix channel later today and select DGS on live. So this will be coming into the actual hotfix channel today, May 20th, not the live channel. Additional server and client crash fixes, fixes for Stormbreaker AI not spawning on additional runs, fixes for players clipping through ramps and elevators of vehicles after being refueled, fixes for incorrectly long insurance claim times, fix for mined ores disappearing after storing a vehicle, additional fixes for TSG locations, fix for ironclad thruster audio. Maybe a few other ironclad fixes, please. Arena commander fixes for being unable to equip Arena commander fixes. I mean, you know, I like a fix. So, I mean, this is a big one. This is a problem. Clipping through ramps and vehicles has been a really bad one. The ironclad needs more fixes than the audio, so I'm guessing they just haven't been able to get those figured out yet. Still problems with refueling, contract manager. It's definitely not, this isn't going to be like, we're all good to go into the game after this. And the patch that they said was going to come on Tuesday that would be fixing up the ironclad, I think that might have also been in here. Has not landed. There hasn't been anything yet. Here we go. This is what was said about that.
Yeah, as soon as possible. I think we already have a fix in live for the hotfix, but you know, as always, tentative fixes.
Yeah, there should be a new series of fixes going out on Tuesday of next week that address a couple other things with the item recovery stuff. So, you know, if we can, we'll loop that in there and stuff like that. So that should be better for people before DefenseCon.
It is clearly the intended gameplay dynamics that we want to reach, because clearly we don't want, you know, you to lose the ship, especially with the item recovery patch as well. You know.
Talk to me about balancing the
So
ironclad.
there is a plan for both item recovery stuff and some ironclad stuff to go into a patch that was meant to come out on Tuesday. It hasn't come out yet. We will keep an eye on the dev tracker to see whenever somebody says something, but as of right now, Sylvan is the only one who is active, and he's currently doing some VR updates. Thank you, Sylvan. Bless you. Appreciate the devs for the work they've been doing. I'm sure there is plenty of work going on behind the scenes to get this stuff fixed. I honestly just feel bad that the CIG and the folks working there have been put in this position during this particularly important time of the game. And I'm hoping they can get this figured out and then like get on a straight course to avoid more releases like this in the future. This has not been good. This is... A year ago, this would have been okay in my book. Now, they're in a different place. They're advertising to different people. The expectations are different. This stuff is going to hit so much harder if it happens after they've announced the Squadron 42 release date. So I hope this is like a really good learning opportunity. We shall see. Either way, that is currently the latest on what's going on with 4.8.